Click the set and grab your chair. On ZTV, we're going there. Indiana faces in the game. Grant and Zay will make the claim. Wednesdays at 7 sharp. Sports talk helps heal your heart. Big ball magic in the night. Tune in and you'll feel alright. 3-point threat on ZTV. Grant and Zay set the spree. Hoots and highlights all around. Wednesday nights, the coolest sound. Pacers action front and center. In the realm of sports we enter. From downtown they shoot and score. Catch the action and encore. Old school vibe with modern twist. Every week it's not to miss. Grant with stats and Zay with flair. Pacers pride hanging in air. Highlight reels and victory feels. Commentary that appeals. Come on, join the weekly quest. 3-point threat is just the best.
All right.
Hey!
No, we're not.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome to the 3-point threat.
3-point threat, y'all. We're back.
Season 2 with Grant and
Grant and Zay, man. We're back. We're back under some certain, maybe not the best, not the worst, but we're back. We're back. We're Pacers.
I want to address some of that hesitancy because not so much from Zay.
The Halliburton problem.
The Halliburton problem I've been seeing so much in his Facebook groups. I want to remind you all of some stuff about the NBA in general and Halliburton specifically. All right. So
real quick before you go, because I'm going to let you go, but with the Facebook groups, it's full of a lot of people who are generally very negative. When Halliburton was on his peak last season, people were going like, "Well, look, what can we trade him for?"
It's crazy that I see, like, on the Facebook pages, I literally see more like hate on Halliburton than my take, which is just like, he'll be fine.
So go ahead. What's your general outlook? Get into the details. Let's go. Halliburton.
This is why I think you should readjust your thing. If he was doing this type of thing in like the playoffs, I'd be concerned. If this was even after the All-Star break, I'd be concerned. I'll even give you, if this was in the middle of the season and he had a 4-game stretch like this, actually I wouldn't be concerned there. So, but like there's certain points where I would be concerned. At the beginning of the season, my first point is going to be at the beginning of the season, I'm not really concerned. Like the beginning of the NFL season, like the first 4 games, if you looked at Patrick Mahomes' stats, they were terrible. I don't think anybody was saying Patrick Mahomes is terrible. And I get
different sport.
It's different sport, and he's earned a different level of pedigree. Yes. But I want to remind y'all of some of Halliburton from last season of why we got this dude. It's not a situation where, we had a good season. Can he follow up? It's like more than just a good season. Right? So here's some of the things he did last season that might change your mind. So
let's go.
He had a game of 44 points and 10 assists. All right. That's pretty crazy.
Go.
2 days apart. Literally, these back-to-back games where they were within 2 days, he had 21 points, 20 assists, 0 turnovers,
legendary,
with 6 for 13 on 3.
Who does that?
All right.
Who does that? Who does that?
I'm gonna come to that. I'm gonna come to that. Who does that?
Go off, King.
The next game they played 2 days later, he had 22 points, 23 assists, 2 turnovers.
In the same week.
Yeah, the same.
I remember.
Within 2 games.
I remember.
If somebody in a whole week of NBA games had 44 assists and 2 turnovers, you'd be like, dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be hyping him up. Like, he did that in 2 games.
Yeah.
All right? So, like.
If people do that twice in their career, legendary.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and skip a few points because you can say that. The twice in the career thing.
Sure.
The most assists without a turnover in an NBA game is 20.
And that was what? Magic Johnson. No. That was CP3.
No, it's tied for 5 players.
Oh.
And Halliburton is 1.
Okay.
So Halliburton co-owns the record for most assists with 0 turnovers. All right.
Okay.
In the top 20, Halliburton has 4 of those spots for most assists with 0 turnovers.
He's the GOAT.
4 of those spots, and he's played 5 seasons.
He's the GOAT.
The only other player who has 2 spots, everybody else just has 1. The only other player that has 2 spots is John Stockton, which we basically only just know him for assists.
Yeah.
He has almost 16,000 assists.
Yeah.
All right. And he got on there twice. Halliburton has 2,300 assists and is on there 4 times. Like,
way more efficient.
Yeah, there's like levels to this, and like Halliburton's on like the highest level of this. Like, this is
young.
Yes, this is ridiculous. Like, he is on track to break most assist records, including honestly the like most assists ever.
Okay. All right, that's a good point.
Last season too, this is again of he didn't just like have a good season. Like, it'd be one thing if Bennett Mathurin like scored 15 and had like 7 rebounds.
Sure.
Like, I hope he does good again. No. He's the only player in NBA history to have 20 points, 10 assists, and 40% from the 3. Only player. Steph Curry's never done that. Steph Curry, Magic Johnson's never done that.
Yeah.
Like, and honestly, to be able to get 20 points and 10 assists alone, hey, you was a dog. You 20 and 10 in any category, like you're a dog. You add the 40% from 3 onto that. Yeah. That is ridiculous.
You add 0 turnovers. Like, look, everybody's favorite player, is getting 4 plus turnovers a game, at least. Yeah. Everybody's favorite player. So the emphasis could not be emphasized enough. What the impact of having a lot of assists with not turning the ball over could do. Well, that's high level of efficiency.
I'll give you the impact.
That's the highest level of efficiency.
The impact he had with having that type of season is he led the 6th most scoring offense of all time. So whoever you think your GOAT team is of all time on like offense, he's in that same type of category. Yeah. And like a lot of the season, we didn't have him surrounded by stars. Like, we didn't have a Siakam. So like a lot of the season, our best player was like Miles Turner, and then
outside of Indiana, the casual fan who doesn't know anybody besides maybe Turner. You know what I mean? Until we got Siakam. Until we got Siakam, it was Turner and the band of friends. You know what I mean? And like no hate for coming from me, but as a casual fan,
even with as good as Nembhard did last season, let's remember that in the regular season last year, he didn't even average like 10 points a game. All right. So like he wasn't surrounded by like this great bunch and led his team. Like LeBron with his D Wade and Chris Bosh, he's not in the top 6. All right. Like I didn't look. I'm just not thinking of this now. I didn't look through every single team like who the roster was, but I can almost guarantee you in the top 6 we're the worst roster to do that.
Oh my God!
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying we're bad. No, that's not what I'm saying. Like, if you're in the top 6 offense of all time, you're good.
On paper, we are the worst in comparison to the rankings of the other team.
And it's not like Siakam added this huge boost to that type of thing in the sense of the first half of the season, we were like number 1.
Yeah.
Like we dropped to number 6, and just because like things kind of like Halliburton injuries and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like, oh, we were like 10th and then we got Siakam. Then we bumped up to like 6th. Like we were already doing that thing, and like that's all credit to Halliburton. Like there's other good players surrounding him. There ain't no other great players surrounding him.
No, Halliburton is he's a star that we needed. He's a star that we have. He'd be a star on any team. You know what I mean? We gave him the spotlight. We gave him the key to the city. We gave him the key to the team.
And there's a reason why.
Overachieved. Yeah, there's a reason why. Look at what he's done.
So I want to keep going on some of these stats to like remind you of how good this guy is and how much you all overreacted.
Mind you, so our stance here, if it's not very clear by now, is that the fans are overreacting. Okay,
very much.
We are not there. We're big. We're Halliburton. We're pro Halliburton big time. Now I'm gonna let you go. I got some criticisms, and I don't fully agree with you on everything, but I want you to get out what you got to get out. So keep rolling.
So I'll quickly get through the rest because I do want to get on the criticism.
Go ahead.
So he also had a stretch where he had 32 assists with 0 turnovers in 2 games. Nobody else has ever done that.
That's insane.
Nobody else has ever done that. So just to remind you of the all-time stats, because I'm not saying he's best season or modern NBA. He had the most assists with 0 turnovers
Mhm.
ever in the NBA, and he had the most assists with 0 turnovers in a 2-game stretch ever in the NBA.
Yep.
Like that is some point guard type of stuff.
Yes.
And let's see.
So I mean, everybody's working.
Other times Halliburton showed up. All right, the in-season tournament game.
Oh wow.
When we were playing the Boston Celtics semifinals.
Oh yeah.
Or the Eastern Conference Finals, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
The finals.
He had a triple-double that game. All
Yeah,
right. So it's like
one of his few triple doubles.
Yeah. It's like he has had some bad games, but even last game, I saw people saying like he was having like a terrible game. He almost had a triple-double last game. Now he wasn't the most efficient scorer, but he still had 16, 22 points, something like that. 9 rebounds, 10 assists.
Well, here's
like,
the thing about
he
Halliburton.
still can play at a high level.
Here's the thing about Halliburton. Even when he has that great night, he does it quietly. And I don't know really even how to make that make sense, but he's very quiet with the way he is. You know what I mean? Like, assists isn't a slam dunk. You know what I mean? Like, that's a loud, wow, this guy's killing it. Given, just dishing it out all game, and all of a sudden you got 12 assists, that's a quiet, big victory. That makes sense.
No, I didn't understand you at first, but now I get it. Like a lot
quiet, not downplaying his impact, but it's what people see.
No, he does have some big games that are easy to see, like scoring wise. Like, I've definitely seen him score. I think he had like 10 3. Yeah, he had 10 3 for us or whatever, was franchise record.
Yeah.
So now that I say all that, I want to say my one part of criticism, and I want to hear you go off.
Go ahead.
So my one part of criticism is I do think there might be a thing of Eastern Conference getting there hungover type of thing, because I did see one thing that, like, to me, and I don't know that well, I'm not his best friend, but to me didn't seem very Halliburton-ish.
I'm his best friend.
Did you see the video you posted of 50 Cent?
Yeah.
So, like, obviously he's super drunk. He's out partying.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw that video, like, I never considered this, but all of a sudden it kind of made me think of, like, he might be kind of hyping himself up too much.
You ain't doing this right, bro. Get back in the lab.
He might be feeling too good.
Yeah.
And I think there may be some of that entering the season of like, oh, I'm just him. I don't have to worry about things. But what's your criticism?
Okay, so let's walk into this. Is that your only criticism?
That's not my only criticism, but that's like the big one.
That's your big one. That's your big one. Okay. So to meet both you and I, and then these fans that we're seeing on the internet, especially these Facebook groups, right? To meet us in the middle, I would say that it's very fair to be concerned, and their criticism is welcome. Now, is it too much? Very much so.
Wait. Let me stop you right there real quick, because I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
When you say, is it fair to be concerned, do you mean concerned in the sense of 10 games from now, you think he might still be in a slump?
Here's what I'm concerned about. I'm not tracking Halliburton's growth or whatever, or tracking him from the beginning of the season. I am tracking him from last season, Olympics, this season.
Fair.
So when you look at the whole entire pie, I think it's very fair to go, you know what? There's been a clear drop-off. That clear drop-off happened when he got injured. When he came back, we were still in a slump, and we never really kind of broke through the chains of, we got that, all these stats you have over here, we never got that guy back. Now, all the way.
It's been 4 games.
From his injury.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Like I said, let's walk into it, okay?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
So, with that, now.
He was still playing at a high level.
He was still playing
very
at a very high level.
But he wasn't the first half of the
season. So we all know what happened last season. And we saw the playoffs. We don't have to kill that again, okay? But we saw that. Now let's walk away into the Olympics. Steve Kerr.
And I will say he played good during the playoffs.
He played good.
He had 2 game ones where he didn't shoot. He took like 5 shots, but otherwise he played good.
I would say he played good to summarize. There's criticism in there, but generally played good. Now, Steve Kerr, I don't think he's the best coach. No. I think that he could have utilized Halliburton much more. Now, when you have a team of KD and LeBron, blah, 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 okay, I get it. Halliburton's, like, take a seat, young man, whatever. Okay. But anyway, him not playing that much or being utilized in both the Olympics, also both, what is it, FIBA?
Well, I think something came out. There was some type of like minor injury during the Olympics.
Okay. So now it's okay. So with that, one side of that coin, you go, maybe Steve Kerr is just being Steve Kerr. He's not the greatest. He's only used to playing big stars and working that kind of offense. Okay, whatever. Then we go, okay, well, on the other side of that coin, we go, well, what if there's something going on with Halbert? We then go, okay, look, whatever. It's easy to chop that up to Steve Kerr, his mismanagement. Okay, cool. But now look at us. Halbert has been off. True or false? Since the beginning of this season.
Okay.
What's the best performance you've seen of him? Now we don't have the stats and numbers in front of us.
No,
but what's the best performance you've seen? Go ahead, but answer that.
No, I'll answer. So the best performance would be last game where he almost had the triple-double.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he had 3 bad games and then almost a triple-double.
Mm-hmm.
If this was, say he started the season off fine, nothing like spectacular. Say he started off fine, all right? Say this is game 15 and game 16, 17, 18, he had bad games like he did these.
Mm-hmm.
And then game 19, he has almost triple-double. Are you worried at all? No. I think it's just because we just came off the highest of highs of like what you were saying of Eastern Conference Finals, Olympics. So it's like it's a hard drop off from that to 3 bad games.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But if like last year we got swept in like the first round or whatever, and like this happened, it wouldn't be like that big of a deal because like our expectations are so we just expect to come out firing, and I think a lot of that is on Rick Carlisle.
Okay, and I want to talk about Carlisle, but before we get in there, let's button this up. Now, let me ask you this. When's the last time you've seen a player have the highs that Halbert has and also the lows so close to each other and kind of be where he's at? So, like, if you had to compare him to somebody.
Go ahead. I'm not going to compare him to somebody, but I can give an example of something like that.
Go ahead.
James Harden having, like, MVP seasons. Like, he was, like, top 3, like, 3 years in a row.
Yes.
And there would at least be one playoff series where, like, he would just, like, not be good.
Uh-huh. And
that it's a lot different like situation or whatever.
I see the similarities. It's different.
Yeah, it's a lot different situations. But I will just say that like that's a lot more freak out of like, oh my god, our guy did really good in the regular season. Now he's just not doing good in the playoffs. Yeah. Versus he started off the season. Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah. He started off the season slow. Yeah. Is a lot different than he had 3 bad games in the playoffs. Yeah. That's why like I'm not worried again because like it's the beginning. Like, there could be injuries we don't know about. And I do think the team's not playing the way they played last year. Like that super fast-paced type thing, that's, like, dead and gone, and I don't know why.
That's one thing I'd say with the Harden. Harden, I think, took advantage of rules that have changed. Well, I don't think that's Halbert.
Well, yeah.
That's my biggest thing.
In, like, the regular season, they call a lot more free throws. You got a lot of points there. Yeah. And those just don't get called in the playoffs. So, like...
Yeah, game's slower in the playoffs.
Yeah. So, again, I'm not too worried about it, but I do want to move on unless you have any final thoughts.
Just to button it up, I would say like this. I think it's okay to be concerned. Is it okay to jump ship and say, all right, let's start mapping out trades? No, that's crazy. It's not even crossed my mind. I think it's okay to go, what has happened to Halliburton, and why is he not fully bounced back from his injury? Is that fair?
That's fair.
That's where I'm at. So basically, my message to everybody online is chill out. Yeah. Okay, I'm still Team Halliburton, but chill out. It's okay to be concerned.
That's fair. That since like basically the All-Star break, like when the injury happened, since then till now, I will like give you and the other Pacers fans. We haven't seen that same level of Halliburton. Yes. I will give you that. The last season I don't hold him against them, and this season I chop it up to 4 games.
Yes,
I do see a little bit of concern now, and I'll concede. I'll concede.
The last thing I want to say is that you had a good point. We came into that season with a very fast, on-fire offense, and we clearly don't have it anymore. We had people like Bruce Brown and people like not Siakam. So we had a different play style. You know, we had Obi Toppin starting. We had Bruce Brown starting.
Last year, the top 3 players in fast break points were Bruce Brown, Obi Toppin, and Siakam. So I don't think.
Siakam was. Oh,
yeah, Siakam was. So I don't think he throws a wrench.
Okay. But still, my point is our offense has changed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the game. But go ahead. So that's the Halliburton topic. We'll address it. We're about to watch the Celtics play here soon, so that's kind of where we're at. So we
got 10 minutes. So
Go ahead.
we're gonna kind of speed
Go
through
ahead.
this or whatever.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess we'll speed. I don't want to spend 5 minutes on this. I'll get five
Top
minutes
two.
on the Celtics.
Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
Got topic two. What
So-
we doing?
Bennedict Mathurin, I'm so frustrated with Carlisle not playing him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read you a quote from why Bennedict Mathurin didn't play in our close game
Go ahead.
the other day. He struggled in Philly game with rebounding and defense. We had a film session yesterday morning. It was longer than I wanted it to be in regards to the Philly game. A lot of it was about rebounding and avoidable turnovers. He struggles in that game. So I want to say like a few things. One, as a guard, maybe you consider him a small forward, but probably more of a guard, however.
Mm-hmm. He's a guard that acts like a forward.
What coach is like, you're not getting enough rebounds? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, I think
You're the coach of Miles Turner.
facts.
Where did that come from?
Yeah. So, like, I know he's averaging 2 rebounds a game right now. As a guard, what more are you asking than maybe, like, 4? Like, if you have 4 rebounds as a guard in the NBA, like, you're kind of elite at it. You know
It's
what I'm
weird
saying?
to come back and be very critical of Mathurin when, when
You're not mentioning Turner.
but he's been gone for half the season. You
So-
have this high expectation.
So that was whack to me. And then him
That's
saying
whack.
like the
That's whack.
defensive thing, there's like 1, maybe 2 good defensive players on the Pacers.
We are the most
So-
terrible team in the league.
I know. So again,
one of them.
that is whack to me. And a third point I didn't think of before, but now you bring up Miles Turner.
Yeah.
I would say Miles Turner's 2 biggest weaknesses are rebounding as a center. And
As a 7-foot man.
yeah, and honestly, dude, anytime a big man comes,
Yeah.
they eat, bro. They eat, bro. Like Paulo scored 50 on us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they eat against us. And like the argument you could make, and I would make
The
myself.
Knicks crushed us.
Well, the argument I would make, and like Carlisle might make is like, oh, well, he scores a lot of points. Our third leading scorer is Bennedict Mathurin. All right, so he also scores a lot of points, and he's not supposed to be a like. And my last point about it too is Naismith might be better for like our 10-game feature type of thing, but like next year, like we should expect either Jers or Mathurin to take over that small forward role. And so like get started on the future now. I'd rather suck a little bit more now and then like next year be prepped, because like I don't think we think we're gonna win the finals this year.
Mathurin is in our top 5. He's in our starting 5. Carlisle not respecting that is a little bit bonkers to me. Now
It's so
we
crazy.
get into this more in our next episode.
Yeah.
The Carlisle problem,
Dude,
because Carlisle,
It's so
if
frustrating.
you've heard any of our talks from season 1 of the podcast, we were always kind of on the fence about Carlisle because look, we were overachieving.
No.
It's
in
easy
part-
to say it's
in
Carlisle.
part is to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, and also the other part is I don't think anybody expected Halliburton to be that level, to be in an MVP conversation. So,
Facts.
but now that we're starting off slow and we've seen these lows, and especially in the playoffs, I don't want to get into it, but especially seeing the mistakes that were made, Carlisle conversation could be: is he going to be our coach after this season? It depends. Now I'll save it. But it depends on how we do and how we progress and who's played and who gets rotated in our starting 5 and
So-
how we compare to last season, yada, yada, yada. But if we fall off hard from last season, Carlisle, man, we got to have a talk, man. Sit down.
So post game, I want to go a little deeper into Mathurin. We just barely touched on it. The rest of the time, I want to just discuss the Celtics.
Sure.
All right. So I'm gonna start it off with
Boo!
if we beat the Celtics tonight,
Yeah.
all sins are forgiven. Carlisle, good coach. Halliburton back on track.
Yeah.
Like everything is good if we beat the Celtics. You agree?
Basically, is everything good?
I
If we
mean,
beat the
lose the
Celtics and lose 4 more games in a row, obviously we have
No,
to
I
take
just
that
mean for
five.
tonight.
Oh,
For tonight. Like
if we
I'm
beat
not
the
worried about
Celtics-
the previous games.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, we're on
If
good
we
track.
beat the Celtics tonight, when we beat the Celtics tonight, it will be easy to forgive the mistakes that we've had. Now, the championship Celtics, that's a whole other conversation. We can have a Celtics episode where we're not an episode, but we can really talk about what they are and where we think they're going to be, because
They literally had 3 people on the Olympics team.
it's not fair.
That is.
I could rant about the Celtics.
crazy.
It's dumb to me that number one, the Olympic squad was just a Celtics fanboy whoever made that up, and number
Yeah.
2, The Celtics having like $1.5 billion cap is outrageous. I know it's not that, but that's what it feels like, and that's the problem. Okay.
Yeah. So, and something that frustrated me, and my friend Josh Hart, if you're watching, this is to you. He said so.
Not a troll. He's not talking about the Josh Hart Knicks.
Yeah. I'm not a Knicks.
I had to ask him. I was like,
if Josh Hart, the Knicks player, was like, "Hey, I want to be your friend," I'd say no.
I would say
I'm
no.
a Pacers fan. All right, but
anyways,
anyways,
we'd say no first.
he said to me, it was like, man, like I don't even know why people are calling like the Celtics squad like super team. That is just crazy to me. How you don't see them as a super team. All right, so they are.
I hate to say it, but they are.
Yeah, they are. Like
they had a guy who did not play, Porzingis. They didn't use him all season until the playoffs, and he came out as a secret weapon. Yeah. And he came out, and anytime he came out, he was wet. He did not miss, and he was the biggest guy in the court.
Even like they got a great six-man in Kevin Pritchard.
Yeah, and they didn't even need Porzingis.
Yeah,
but they brought him out as a hey. By the way, we're about to win.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a super team, man. Their cap is $1 billion.
But I will be on top of the world if we beat the Celtics tonight. So that's all I'm hoping for and praying for. I don't have much more until post game. Maybe if things are super crazy one way or another, we might do a halftime or whatever. But we'll sure be here for post game.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Any last thoughts?
Look. What's your prediction this game?
Prediction?
What's your prediction this game? It's hard to tell.
Realistic or Pacers goggles?
Both.
Okay, so realistic, we probably lose by 14.
Shut up! Turn the podcast off. We'll see y'all later. That was crazy. I'm not even want to.
Pacers goggles, which
14 is crazy.
Wait. Pacers goggles is more so how I actually feel. 14 is like that's my betting spread type of thing. How I actually feel though, I think we'll.
That's a playoff game by 14.
Hold on. I actually think like we'll come out to play. I think the whole team has heard all the hate. I think everybody's kind of over it, and I think everybody's like ready to readjust. The only reason I give the 14 is because I don't trust Carlisle to make the right decision.
All right.
Like Matthew should play a lot tonight. Like he's a third leading scorer, 6 with minutes.
He has to play.
So it's
he has to play for us.
So it's like if our team
he has to play for us to win.
If Carlisle played it perfectly, I feel we're gonna win. But that's why I think we could lose by 14 because I think he might make mistakes.
All right, last question. What does Halliburton need to do to snap back into it? What do you, as a guy who had all these pros, what's the problem then? Was he not got his flow? Was he not hungry yet? Has he not worked out his kinks? What happened? What's he need to do? What do we need to see tonight?
I think Halliburton needs to have a fantastic first quarter, but not necessarily like in shooting. Like have like a flashy pass, get some things that makes him like build some confidence. I don't need him to drop 10 in the first quarter, but it gets like, cool flashy pass and maybe one wide open 3 or something. Like this is small little spark I think will light the fire.
Okay. A lot of things, and just tie this into the conversation. I think I've been watching the games, so I think a lot of what the problem is that he'll come out shooting, and he'll obviously be missing. Yeah. And then he'll be close too. He'll sprint around, fly out, or he'll hit the rim just enough to fly out.
I've seen some air balls.
I've seen some air balls, but he's coming out and relying on that 3, which is just not there right now.
Yeah,
it's just not there right now.
That's what's kind of brought up the partying thing and the Eastern Conference thing of like I think he felt that like I'm the man, I'm cool.
I'm gonna walk back into it.
Yeah, so I think like he wants to like come into the game like boom, I'm all the way. They talk about in football all the time of like don't try to score a touchdown every single play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes make like the easy pass or just run the ball or something.
Get that first down.
Exactly. I think that's what Halliburton needs to do. He needs to get that first down, get a few times, get confidence up, and then start gunslinging.
Cool. Hey, we're signing off. The game's about to start. We'll see y'all soon, okay?
Let's go Pacers.
Let's go Pacers.
Yes, sir.